Hello everyone, welcome to our live stream. Today our topic is about the emerging artificial intelligence market. In an era of AI-generated content, what kinds of talents would the market need? Will AI replace human labors? And what are the other potential applications of AI? Well, today let's delve into this discussion with our expert panelists online. With us, we have Bai Qiang, founding partner of AIGC, Zhang Jiayi, Executive Secretary General of the Laboratory of Artificial Intelligence and Cultural Creativity at Peking University, Zheng Fanmei, AIGC consultant at Baidu, and our special guest, 元宇宙公主, or Meta MM, who has over 300,000 followers online. And she's now talking with us in her virtual character. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Could you guys briefly introduce yourself to our audience? Mr. Bai, let's start with you.
Hi, this is Bai Qiang. Right now I'm living in Tokyo, Japan. I'm majoring in mathematics when I was in USTC in China. But I went to US in 1990, went to startup in internet, RFID in the 90s. And then both companies we went IPO in US. Then in 2005, I went back to China and co-managed iFlyTech, 科大讯飞, to go IPO in China. After that, I actually started something not so technology. I produced some 3D movies, and also I have a fourth company based in China, which is still working on right now. But since last year, we have been re-switching our attention to artificial intelligence again. So we have founded AIGC, which is a venture capital plus aggregator based in Tokyo, Japan. Our attention is to attract, interested startups from all over the world to Japan, because Japan has a very favorable policy about AI, but Japan does not really have a lot of aggressive young, entrepreneurs. So that's what we are trying to change right now.
Thank you for joining us. And what about you, Jiayi?
Hello, guys. It's my honor here to introduce myself. And I'm now a year 3 postgraduate student at Peking University. And I'm now executive research assistant of Institute for Culture Industries. And my supervisor is Xiang Yong, and he is also the dean of Institute for Cultural Industries in Peking University. And my research field is on immersive narrative and storytelling digital. And I also have some experience like making a startup company in AI education. And I'm also a video maker. Like I had run an AI video account on the Red Book, And I was graduated at Monash University in 2020. And then I got to Peking University. And before I come to Peking University, my research background is in media and journalism, and this is why I'm so have a lot of enthusiasm in this field, especially new media. So when I first come into AI field, I found there's a really big chance that we can seize it to use AI to make not only new medias, but also to have it to benefit all cultural industries. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us. And I've also watched your account online. It's very interesting. And Ms. Deng, could you also, thank you. Ms. Deng, could you briefly introduce yourself to our audience?
Hello, everyone. I'm very happy to be here. My name is Zheng Fanmei, and I'm working at Baidu as an AIGC consultant. Part of my job is to help our clients know what AIGC technology is and how this kind of technology helps them improve their working efficiency. That's all. Thank you.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And last, let's welcome our virtual character, 元宇宙公主 of Metaverse MM. Well, let's bring our last guest and in her virtual character.
Hello, I'm Princess of the Metaverse, a virtual blogger lurking in the work and life of the major social platforms. I'm currently vertical in the AI and Web3 areas to bring you my perspective on the viewpoints and practices to share. Thank you for the hosts to give this opportunity to communicate with you in depth.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. And when we talk about AI-generated content, the first thing that would pop up in our minds may be ChatGPT, right? And today, our guest, Mr. Bai, is one of the first generation of internet entrepreneurs in the US. Well, Mr. Bai, you must be very familiar with the native products of AI. So let me start with you. How do you see the native products of AI, and what are some other applications that we should be familiar with apart from ChatGPT?
Well, I have been in US, in Japan, and China since we put our attention to generative AI. But so far, I feel the only native AI product is ChatGPT. There is none other native AI product. There are so many applications, but most of them are B2B. They are extension of SaaS, software as a service. They are actually they're there to increase the efficiency, but it's not native AI product. All these applications are relying on the existing SaaS infrastructure. And to see, we have quite a few other startups all over the world, but most of them are actually they rely on app, they rely on website. So if you have an AI project, it turns out probably 85% of your attention is on traditional internet development. For example, you have to make a very nice app product, or you have to try your best to attract people to your application, or you have a very nice website and how to make people come to use your website. So that's not really native AI. So far, our conclusion is it is still quite early to try to come up with native AI product. I know right now it is CES in Las Vegas right now. There are quite a few hardware products coming out, including some, it has its own standalone hardware. The slogan is their hardware is it's a new hardware company. It's going to replace the cell phone, but actually it is just a wrapper on top of existing API and the website. So far, what we feel is we are still at the early stage of generative AI. And actually today, yesterday's time in US time zone, Sam Altman, he gave the opening speech in this year's YC, YC incubators opening session. He said, very soon, AGI, artificial general intelligence, will come out. So at that time, we probably will see native AI product. Right now, it's probably the time that we just use GAI, generative AI, to try to increase efficiency or try to generate something interesting like character.ai, so character.ai. But these things are just, you can think it's really something built on top of the internet. It's not really AI native product yet.
Yeah, just like Mr. Bai said, it's still in an early stage. But how will these technologies develop in the next decade? So far, many of them are only capable of handling images and words. Well, Meta MM seems like you come from the future. Tell us more about how will these technologies develop?
I think that in the next 10 years, these technologies are going to become more integrated into our lives and our work. Just like 20 years ago, we didn't think computers would be the standard in the office. Cell phones will have each of us spending a third of our day on it. While not everyone is currently using ChatGPT very effectively. And as you are gradually realizing, the personal knowledge base is the best instruction manual for ChatGPT. And just recently, OpenAI released the GPT store. It's the equivalent of buying someone else's brain and instantly owning its knowledge as if we were paying to equip ourselves, so that you don't have to suffer the pain of studying.
And apart from ChatGPT, like many of you mentioned, many of China's high-tech companies such as Baidu and Tencent have also been putting great efforts into developing these AI technologies. Well, so far, how competitive are they in today's global market, and what still needs to be done? Ms. Deng, how do you see it? Could you share with us?
Okay, we have to admit that there is a gap between the OpenAI and the large language models generated by the Chinese companies like Tencent and Baidu. However, I think since we live in China, there is an advantage in the large language models of Tencent and Baidu and other internet companies, since the data which determines whether a large language model is good or bad, and these models have been trained by the data, especially from Chinese internet users. So from this perspective, the large language models generated by Chinese internet companies like Tencent and Baidu have some advantages to some extent. Besides, out of information security, these large language models are safer than the counterpart from OpenAI. So, however, we have to admit there is a gap. Yeah.
I want to add something here because last year in March, I actually had a discussion with my USTC 中国科大 alumni, Mr. Zhang Yaqin, Dr. Zhang Yaqin. You know, he is a pioneer in AI. So he and I discussed it. Both of us feel that this generative AI in China has three biggest shortcomings comparing to that in Silicon Valley. First, technology, we are behind, unfortunately. For some reason, the AI in China was very, very hard. We had all these companies doing image scanning, like Shantang, SenseTime, all these things. But unfortunately, all the early easy success led the Chinese AI community to focus on so-called narrow AI instead of general large language model. So we missed it.
What's the difference between the two?
The difference is simple. For the AGI or the generative artificial intelligence, it's really like a human being. If you tell him to learn how to eat, how to treat water, then after 1 day, it can recognize something like liquor, like a beer, instead of only focusing on water. So it has a general intelligence, just like a human being. It can self-learning and self-applying the intelligence. Thus, LLM is working on. The large language model is really working on building the human's brain. But for the last generation's AI, it's really for image recognition. Its only purpose is to recognize the image or speech recognition. Its only purpose is to recognize the speech. Or for example, we have all heard of the chess play, the robot, the AI has beaten human beings quite a few years ago. But that AI can only do chess. It cannot do other things. It cannot do guandan. It cannot do any other things. It cannot, if you teach that AI how to play chess, it cannot self-develop itself into playing like Chinese chess or into playing bridge. So that's called narrow AI. Unfortunately, China for the past 20 years or 15 years has been focusing on narrow AI. So we have missed it like 10 years. Second is, overall speaking, the GPU is a very sensitive topic, but we have to face it. Right now, the GPU in China is at a disadvantage situation. Third, which is the biggest problem, it is the data. Because in the past, in China, in the internet of China, Chinese companies, they have been competing against each other very, very aggressively. So the data out there on the internet in China, the quality is low. A lot of data are only in APP, so it's very difficult for it's not being open. So if you want to use the Chinese data to train your LLM, actually there are not much data available. There is a statistics, only the quality available Chinese data is about only 5% of that of English data. So this is actually the killer part, because the first, the lack of technology, the lack of GPU, probably we have so many people, very, very smart in China to work on that. But the lack of the data, even if you work hard on it, but you cannot solve it, because it's starting from 1994, when we started my first internet startup back in Purdue in Indiana, we have been producing data. So in US, it's like 30 years progress. But in China, for 30 years, a lot of companies have been trying to hiding the data, trying to manipulate the data for their advantages. So the data quality have been bad for 30 years. There's no easy way to solve this problem. So this is going to impact the generative AI's progress in China.
Yes, it's still a long way to go, but we are still also seeing some progress being made. Many generative AI applications helping people do those repetitive work, such as large corporates using AI interviews to shortlist their candidates in the recruitment process. Well, how do you guys view these types of applications? Are they really better than those human selection? 元宇宙公主 Meta MM, how do you see it?
Artificial intelligence interviewing. This is really a trend because it can efficiently help us screen qualified interviewees. But I don't think AI is currently able to make choices as completely smart as humans can. Although AI can handle large amounts of data and pattern recognition, it is still a challenge to deal with complex human emotions and these subtle social interactions. For example, it may not be able to tell if this interviewee can handle office coworker relationships, customer relationships, or leadership relationships. So we'll need to be careful about using AI in positions where we need to deal with people. But it probably does also avoid lies or cover-ups like humans would possess. AI can be relatively fair and transparent, so we have to look at both sides of the coin as well. Thank you.
Yes, that's a very interesting point. How can those machines really handle these more complex relationships? Ms. Deng, how do you see, since you are also from a tech giant, is your company also using these types of technologies? How do you see AI interviews?
Up to now, I think these tools cannot be smarter than our human beings, because all the applications based on large language models needs the data to be trained. So nowadays it's just a start. It's a start. It can be a try, but it cannot be exceed the performance our human beings can do in interview. Yeah.
And Mr. Bai, how do you see it from an employer's point of view? Have you tried AI interviews before?
Because right now our organization is really, as I said, it's a venture capital plus aggregator. So we don't really hire too many people. So we are not using AI. We only use our own network to hire people. But I really think this is an excellent direction to try to apply generative AI. At least it can do first screening for you. so you can reduce the workload of your HR. In some cases, unfortunately, some of the HR are not necessary anymore because maybe, for example, if you are a big company, your HR department used to be having 100 people, but now you only need like 30 people because all the pre-screening can be done by AI, and also all the afterwards follow-up and kind of like FAQ replying and all these things can be done AI. So I really think this is one of the best directions at this moment. It's close to a native AI product, in this sense.
Yeah, and like Meta said, she said like AI interviews may be very difficult to handle those more complex relationships. And how do you see it? How can it be improved? For example, like to see whether their technical skills are really qualified for the position, that may be very easy to tell. But what about for those soft skills? Like, are they outgoing? Are they smart enough? Are they really qualified for the job position? How do you see it? Can the AI interviews really can solve such problems?
It can be solved easily because even without AI, there have been quite a few, the soft skill testing companies, testing products available online. Actually, when Aflatech, Kada Junfei went IPO in 2008, our shareholder, Lenovo, sent someone to test our personalities. At that time, there was no AI. It was just a human-based product. Using that product, they tested all of us as company leaders, our personalities. So right now, using AI definitely can test people's soft skills. So I don't think that's a problem. It's really about which level of people you're trying to hire. For example, if you are trying to hire your vice president, then probably even you use AI, you still want to meet the people, talk to him, to challenge him. But if you just want to hire some, entry-level people or middle-level people, then I think AI is quite sufficient.
Yes, that's true.
Especially if you use it more, then you are going to have more data. With more data, your model will get better. Then, so it's going to get better and better.
Yes, just like going back to what you talked about, we still need a lot of data and to improve these technologies, and it's still a long journey to go. And so far, many industries have also been applying AI technologies to create some new content. For example, Jiayi, you are in some school projects, right, that integrate artificial intelligence with culture and entertainment. Could you tell us more about them?
Yes, true. I'm from Peking University, and for culture industry institute, and we now have artificial intelligence and cultural creative joint laboratory at PKU. So very fortunately, I'm the executive secretary of it. In this laboratory, we really have the role to bridge AI with culture and creative avenues. Like we have our students to learn how to use AI tools to make arts. Yeah. So we have 5 projects in total, and 3 of them are AI based. So we demonstrate our innovative approach to integrate technology as well as culture. We do believe that AI, artificial intelligence, it really opened a new universe. So in this universe, it has its own like biology. So we do not only need coders, but also we need someone to do culture stuff. So this is why we are doing this. It's transdiscipline stuff, like we bridge the gap from AI to creative culture industry. So we have 3 different projects in this field. And the first one is like we make an AI-based academic digital persona. Like we use artificial intelligence technology to do 3D modeling. we make this digital persona like avatar. People can ask this persona like some questions, especially in creative culture field. And the data are all from my supervisor, who is the dean of Institute of Culture Industry in Peking University, and his Xiangyu. And the second is we use AI-generated content to benefit metaverse. Yes, we also have a metaverse program that is about like VR role-play game. So we use AI to like give us some ideas to start a new play, or we use AI to make like the posters and some 3D modeling stuff. And the third one is one that I devote a lot of effort in, and that is AI athletics education brand Wonder. So this is like an education program. We really like to help people to learn like how to use AI. So we make a lot of courses to like explain or experience in using AI tools, and help people to learn like how to make AI arts. We use AI music tools, we use AI video tools, as well as pictures like Midjourney. Once they learn how to use them, they can definitely improve their efficiency in work. And that is what we really want to say, because we really want to help people to learn how to use AI, and then they can enhance their working ability and working competence. Yeah, that's basically.
Yeah, it's really fascinating to see all these projects ongoing. Yeah, Mr. Bai, what do you want to say?
Yeah, I think in this part, I think right now the AI, it can do two things very, very nicely. First is increasing the efficiency. Second is to generating creative content. Unlike a lot of people think human beings are better than AI for creative content. Actually, to the contrary, in my experience, I think AI is better in doing creative stuff. We can just relate this on your story, the Pixar. The Pixar animation, when they produced the Toy Story 2 and all these things, Steve Jobs, he provided the money, he provided the business negotiations scale to get Disney to work on this with them. And at Customer and all the technology people, they come up with the technology. They worked on the technology for 15 years. But there was another guy, one single guy. He was a producer, director of Toy Story and Toy Story 2. He later becomes chief creative officer of Disney. John Lasseter. So that's the important thing of applying AI. I think right now, just like she said, if some people like Peking University can work on combining the technology with the human beings who can, somehow get the human beings storytelling by taking advantage of the AI, then we are going to have next Pixar, next, all these big name animation studios. So this is going to be very, very interesting. This is just getting started.
Yes, I can't agree with you more. And Jiayi, you were made some videos based on AI technologies, right? Do you want to show us?
Yeah, it would be really nice that I can show you. Let me have a look how to share the video.
What do you think they want?
Everything.
And I'm really enthusiasm of like using AI tools to benefit like cultural like history content to spread. So I make some videos to introduce like Chinese poems. Yeah, I really enjoy Chinese traditional culture.
Yeah, thank you, Jiayi, so much for sharing with us all those creative videos. And as our Gen Z representative today, how do you think young people should prepare themselves for today's job market in the AI sector, Jiayi?
I do think that for young people, one thing I think is really important is to questioning. And this is also said by my professor Xiang Yong. He said that once you learn how to question, you really get the key for AI like era, because not only we use ChatGPT, but also like Midjourney and any other AI tools. All you need is to thinking in your mind and to refine it, to revise it, to make it as a prompt. And once you get a prompt, you get a question, you can ask AI to make really like dramatic work. Only if you know what you want, you can get it. So this is basically about some soft techniques. It's not about like really hardcore like coding, but I do think that if you would like to learn, you can learn how to code, but only if you can get like the soft abilities like critical thinking, like learning, and you get a lot of like education background, and then you can ask a good question. I think a good question is really valuable in the future, especially for the generation.
Yes, just also stay to be curious. Don't be afraid to ask questions, and then at the same time find a solution to solve that question. And Mr. Bai, what do you see? What kinds of talent does the market really need from an employer's point of view? What would you say?
It's a very difficult question. Yes, because this generative AI, the GPT, what it has changed really, it's fundamental change. What I mean is, you see, previously, when we hire people, we want the people to work on something very, very definite, very clear what they are working on, what the results should be. But now we want people to, work with something which has some intelligence. So really like we are hiring some kindergarten or junior school teachers, asking them to work with the children. So because at this stage, we can think generative AI is kind of like special gifted children. They have some talents in some areas, but they have some shortcomings in some other areas. So when we are hiring people to work with generative AI, in my opinion, it's really like you are hiring, teachers. So it's very different from what we would be hiring in the past. Now, if we hire technology people to work on the development project, we are not only hiring people who can do programming, because obviously right now we are not expecting all the people to be able to come up with another large language model. There are only a handful of people as smart as Greg or as smart as the chief scientist officer or OpenAI, Lilia, and all these people. So when we hire people, most of the people we hire, we work on the human interaction area, or how to make AI to interact with human better. So this gives us a huge challenge in what kind of people we hire. Immediately I can see that if you ask me, I really want to hire some people who are very, very good at coming up with prompt writing people. And these people should be very, very good at English. At the same time, they should be very, very good at social culture. Because in writing prompt. It's not just your language skill. It's really about you know the history of Egypt, what's going on right now in US, or what's going on right now in China, things like that. So it's really challenging to have people like that. We try to hire people who can help us in developing a sports-related large language model. But turns out it's so difficult to have people who understands technology, who has a passion for soccer and sports, and also who has an understanding of how to do the human AI interaction. So that part, I think, is the most challenging part.
Yeah, just like you mentioned before, because AI development is still in an early stage, so AI talents recruitment is also still a global shortage. So how do you see AI research and development? How can those learning institutions and industries collaborate to ensure that curricular and training programs can remain up to date with the latest AI advancements? Mr. Bai.
It's another very good question. I really think right now, one very important part is to have aggregator, because people in universities, even if they are in Stanford or Berkeley or Carnegie Mellon University, these top AI universities, still they are university professors or university students. They focusing on coming up with original technology, but the original technology is probably at least 5 years away from what market can, take the product that the market really can use. So we need someone in between. One side is the university, another side is the market. In between, we need an aggregator who can really help the researchers to be more mature in coming up with market-oriented products. At the same time, the aggregator should tell the marketing people, the people who actually are working in companies already, how to work with the new emerging technologies. So otherwise, right now, when you see all these nice things, such as you sending a text, video can be generated, and all these nice things, the nice tools are probably several years away from being really applied to Hollywood movies. So it's a big challenge.
Yes, we can look forward to see more institutions work with the market side to provide more trainings that are more practical. And also nowadays, many people have also found many new job opportunities with the help of AI, just like 元宇宙小仙女. She has a virtual character with 300,000 followers online. Well, 元宇宙小仙女, what inspired you to create this virtual character? What are some opportunities that you think job seekers can consider nowadays in the era of AI-generated content?
My inspiration for this virtual character was actually my dissatisfaction with myself in the real world. So I want to make up a new character. Let him live in the metaverse by shedding his physical body, affecting his resume and contacts. Generate my new appearance with AI technology to help me express myself so that he can grow into the person I want him to be, and then stand on a new stage for all to see. A virtual person can also pass the work, recognized by the community. It also encourages people like me who may be dissatisfied with the real world itself. You can use your digital life to give yourself a chance to be born again. Of course, if you're looking for a job, you might want to consider it. A lot of emerging opportunities like virtual bloggers like me, AI trainer for content creators, and more. Then they need more skills than just the production data analysis skills of the past and programming skills. Rather, it should focus more on the ability to think creatively, because this era has given us unprecedented opportunities for creativity and expression. Thank you.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And with this new character, you can now work from home, right? With the rapid development of AI, freelance and remote work are also on the rise. So how can these professionals leverage their skills through remote opportunities? Meta MM, how do you see? What are your advice?
I recently came across a statistic that there are 210 million freelancers in the world, nearly a quarter of the global labor force. Then as artificial intelligence advances and we break down language barriers and knowledge barriers, more and more professions may become globalized, and remote work may become more commonplace, and professionals may be able to utilize their skills in a variety of ways. For example, in the future, one person may be able to start a company. One man can be the past. Teams of 10 people capacity, such as online consulting, online training, remote project management, important to keep skills up to date, and adaptability, and the use of AI tools to improve work efficiency and communication skills. We have to adapt ourselves to the more speed of this age. This will lead to wider recognition. That's all I have to share. Thank you.
Yes, indeed.
Actually, I have one. I want to say that maybe in the future, we don't really need so many people to work at all. So actually, I think Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, I think he shares this opinion. In the future, we just need maybe like 20 million people to work on things. The rest of the population, they just need to, just like in the Steven Spielberg's movie, they just need to play games or watch football games, all these things. That's why actually Sam co-founded a project. It's a blockchain project called WorldCoin. Basically, that WorldCoin is trying to do a universal basic income. So in the future, probably most of us don't need to work anymore. You just need to, weekly get your income from Sam's WorldCoin, and then you do gaming, you relax, enjoy yourself. In my opinion, that's probably the future. So we in this AI revolution, I think the biggest impact is this. That is, we only need maybe 1% of people working on things. The rest of the human beings are just going to relax, enjoying themselves.
Yeah, very looking forward to the future. And I also saw an interesting report. Baidu CEO Robin Li said a similar thing. Said like for nowadays, many people may still need to work 5 days per week, but in the future, just in the next decade, many people may can have the free time and can work 3 days per week with the increase in efficiency and with the help of the AI technologies. Yeah, and Jia, you wanted to add something?
Yeah. I think the future blueprint that mentioned by Mr. Bai is really, really nice and really fascinating. I do think that if we can really generate like a AGI, that is artificial general intelligence, it may really come true one day. But I still wonder something. It's like in the future, if someone can utilize AI to make more and more money to have their financial resources, but how about the rest of the population? What should they do? I don't really think that people who really have and own these resources will just devote or just how to say, sorry, just give these things, give these resources to the rest of the people for free. So, well, what will they do?
Yeah, that's a very interesting point too, because I also saw a report from OpenAI. It says that in the next 4 years, 80% of workers could see their jobs impacted by AI. And some job positions, they estimate GPTs could save workers a significant amount of time completing a large share of their tasks, which are like mathematicians, text preparers, financial quantitative analysts, writers and authors, web and digital interface designers. How do you guys see this? Does it mean that AI will really replace a large amount of human labors in the future? Mr. Bai?
I really think so. Actually, I think all of us have watched this movie. The English name is Ready Player One by Spielberg. In that movie, the major characters, every day they wake up, they just do the fresh up, eat their breakfast, then go to play games. So that's going to be the future. But certainly this is nice future. The not so nice future can be very clearly that a lot of people will be not needed. They will be not necessary. So unfortunately, if that happens, then some type of tragedy will happen. In my opinion, probably, if we look back at the human history, it will happen. That's, in my opinion, that's a given. The only handful, the top people, they control the technology that matters. The rest of the people will just become redundant. So if the top tier people, they feel out of humanity, they still want to feed the majority of the people who are not necessary, that's a nice future. If the top tier people, they feel we just don't need those, those people. We don't need them to yell out every day to try to do, what's happening right now in US, in Silicon Valley. If you go to San Francisco, yes, so many burglars and all these things. So if the top tier people get tired of this, they think that we can live a happy life without those redundant people. That's going to be a dark future, but it's a very possible future.
Yeah, it's also there a possibility that maybe those people in those industries can instruct the AI to help them work. It's like instructing a prompter. And also like mathematicians top the ranking. I know your major was math at the beginning, right? How do you see this?
You mean
yeah, is it possible that those people can instruct some like machines or prompters to let those AI technologies to help them work? So at the same time, some part of their works may be replaced by AI, but still they can still remain their position and keep working with higher efficiency.
It's a very good question. I personally feel with the coming of AGI, which again, some today, our time, yesterday, the US time, he openly declared the AGI is coming very, very soon. So right now, all of us should be work on things as if AGI has already happened. Because if you work on things based on ChatGPT 4.0, then it's going to be totally washed out by AGI. So with AGI happening so fast, then whether human being will be necessary in learning mathematics, physics, chemistry, and all these things to really come up with the next wave of new technology. I don't know. I really think it's unclear. Probably in a lot of areas, human beings will not be necessary. So I think people should think about the impact of AI. One thing I joke about is if you train your children to play soccer, to play football, then one day even AGI has achieved, people still need a new Ronaldo, new Messi. So your children are still secured because they still can play soccer. They can become soccer stars. They can still live a very good life. But if your children become mathematicians, become working on physics and some other things, I'm not so sure now, because AGI probably will be better than human mathematicians and human physicists.
Yes, that's very interesting. So our last question for you guys is, to avoid being replaced by AI, what skills should we equip ourselves from now? Jiayi, what would you say?
I'm really interested about this topic, and but I really would like to answer the question further, like the one before it, and that is that is about like how will AI influence people, especially the workers in different fields, because in my mind, I don't really believe that AI will like replace people totally in the future. I more believe that we can really establish a relationship, like we collaborate with each other, like more people use AI to help them foster their efficiency, but not just use AI to just take over these roles. Because I do think that nowadays the AI generated content, this quality is not really like stable. So we always need people like prompt engineering, like mentioned before, to revise and refine the stuff that AI generate. So I don't think people will be really like replaced. Other than that, I do think like there will be a transformation of job roles. Like existing job roles will not like just eliminate, but rather than that, people will take into new roles. That is get a revolution from now. For example, writers may evolve into roles like guiding and editing AI-generated content like scripts, while designers they will use AI as a tool to explore more like innovative design ideas. They will have a lot of like different ideas, different like poster formats, and they can just pick the one which is really nice and to revise it as what the employer they really want. For the last question, and this will AI replace people? And my answer is definitely no. I don't really believe that people will really lose their opportunity to become a labor in the labor market, because actually, I learned a lot of like Marxism theories. So in this theory, they do believe that only if people they are working, they are work as a labor in the market, they will be really valuable. They will believe that they are useful for this society. So I don't think people will really enjoy a life without any work. So people always need work, not only right now, but also in the future. So people always get their jobs. Just the jobs itself will get some change. It will become a more like creative in some ways, because many repetitive works will be replaced by AI. But we can take the role of more like control and revising and creativity.
Yeah, I can't agree with you more. I'm also hoping that more new and more creative job positions will be open to us, and to avoid being replaced by AI technologies. What can we do? What can we ordinarily do now? How can we equip ourselves to maybe to get better, to be qualified for those future positions? Ms. Zhang, how would you say?
In my opinion, this type of applications show the innovation based on AIGC technology and can indeed save some time and repetitive work for companies right now. However, it does not mean that these applications are smarter than human selection. For these applications based on AIGC technology is still in an immature processes and cannot replace the work requiring complicated communication and judgment process.
Okay, and Mr. Bai, what would you say?
There will be the need for very top-tier people, but the rest of us, maybe it's better we get on some blue-collar jobs, because no matter what you feel, the robots will not replace human being in doing blue-collar jobs in any time soon. I think probably we are safe in the next 5 to 8 years that robots will not be really human enough to do, for example, to do some detailed cleaning work or blah, blah, and all this blue-collar work. So the blue-collar jobs, ironically, with the coming of AGI, will be safer than white-collar jobs. Because as we all know, with GPT coming out, first of all, a lot of companies who have been doing enterprise translating, they are not needed anymore. So actually, my company, I immediately fired someone working for us in Shanghai who was working on English documentation for us. Her English is very bad, and also her working attitude was extremely terrible. So with AGI, with GPT, we immediately fired her. So I think the white collar jobs will be in danger, whereas for the at least next 5 to 8 years, blue collar jobs will be safer.
Yeah, it seems that we are very dangerous. Ms. Deng, do you have anything to add? Or Jiayi, you want to go first?
I do. I'm really agree with Mr. Bai. I do think because I once heard saying like in AI era, in digital era, the one will be replaced will be doctor but not nurse, because nurse she really need to like interact with her like patients face to face. But doctors, he can just give because doctors they can even like give their medical suggestions in distance. So they really so like jobs that can be work from a really far away. We can use it via internet. It will be like replaced by internet. But the jobs that need to interact more with people, especially in really close distance, it will be really harder. And I do think nowadays more and more new job, like come into job market. There's a lot of lack of multidiscipline, like transdiscipline jobs in job market. So as a future employee in the future, like a future employee, I think the best way for us to equip us would be learn more about AI knowledge. Like once if you can use ChatGPT, you will know how to write a really nice prompt, and then you will use this tool in a proper way, and then you can like get yourself more competitive in the job market. And this is why we found the AI startup company, and that name is Wonder AI, because we really want to get this opportunity to be more like equal to the public. We have some workshops for free online, and to tell them how can you use and how can you like utilize all of the AI tools to make really fascinating stuff, like posters and product design, and also AI films, AI videos. And in this way, we think it's a really important stuff for all of the not only students but also the workers who really do not will not like to be replaced in the future. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very interesting point. Do you have anything you want to add, Ms. Deng?
For this question, I believe we need to improve our core competitiveness in the working environment, such as our communication and problem-solving skills. Even though generative AI may replace most of the low-level and repetitive work, they cannot have a better performance in dealing with work requiring high communication and problem-solving skills. Besides, to avoid being replaced by generative AI, we also need to know about generative AI as much as possible and try to participate in the development of AIGC technology.
Thank you guys all for joining us today in this very insightful live stream about the artificial intelligence market and its evolving needs. We've had the privilege of hearing from our esteemed panelists, including Bai Qiang, founding partner of AbleGPT, Zhang Jiayi, Executive Secretary General of the Laboratory of Artificial Intelligence and Cultural Creativity at Peking University, Zheng Fanmei, AIGC consultant at Baidu, and our special guest with her virtual character, 元宇宙公主 or Meta MM. As we conclude this engaging discussion, we hope that you will gain some maybe new perspectives about the future of generative AI and how it impacts our daily lives. Well, the world of AI is continuously evolving, and staying informed is key to adapting and thriving in this exciting field. We look forward to seeing you again in our future live streams. Bye for now.